Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a enjoyable summer. Well, at least those in the Northern Hemisphere. For those of our Southern Hemisphere watchers and listeners, hope you're enduring the winter. Um, Real quick update today. Adam is out. We are hosting a QBR workshop. Been sending out a lot of information on that. Hopefully, those of you who were interested in that were able to register for it. We will be offering these on a quarterly basis. So if you're interested and want to, didn't get in on today's, stay tuned. We will have another one coming up. They are a paid event, a restricted event. We get really hands-on, really specific. It's a few hours long, so it's a really, really good course to get into and not just some casual information. So if you're interested in those, you can reach out to us or stay tuned for more information. So other than that, I have three quick items I want to cover today, and hopefully we'll get out here pretty quick. All right. So the first one is more around our platform and product and features. We are continuing to work on the Project Sync. Right? We got that out in its initial release form, and I'm getting lots of really good feedback from members. We've been able to walk through some stuff, working with an Autotask member the other day. And we sent an opportunity over, and sure enough, it fired off the workflows just like it's supposed to, getting everything they need to, keep the ball rolling on that sales opportunity. So we're seeing other really cool, implementations of that along the way, and we're not done yet. So there are things we are working on that. We need your feedback on those. So if you can help us tweak this to make it what you want, it's a great opportunity for you to tweak the tool to match your needs and what you're really looking to do in your client engagements. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and you have to hit the integration setting. There's just a couple of extra default fields we need to populate. There's some things that we're doing over there that in the PSA that we can't do unless we populate a field. So we need some of those values put in there. And it's a really, really easy process from that point on. You can send things over, bring things back. You can have things operating. Once you kind of see the flow on it, you can flip on the global sync and you can have all this happening automatically. So really cool stuff going on there. And along with the product updates, the item we've been talking about is our email digest feature. We're thinking about calling it the dispatch. I like that. We're kind of open for opportunities. Adam and I are definitely techie guys, so the marketing stuff is not our strong suit, but dispatch sounds cool. We would be happy to entertain other suggestions on that as well. So that is getting ready again for its initial release to production, and main functionality there is to be able to take a client dashboard, which is a persona, and it's meant to match the role of the person that you're communicating with, or the type of event or type of communication grouping of it, whether it's tickets or project status, what do you want to put in there? So we have them labeled as personas, and you can send those out on a regular schedule. Do you want it weekly, monthly? There's a lot of options in there. And again, we're really excited to release that, but want some additional feedback before we complete our cycle on that and make sure we're getting it dialed in just the way you guys need it. All right, moving on to another couple of items on our regular schedule of events. All right, Adam and I shifted a few things around. We were really excited about the cadence, so we kind of moved it up. But July on our calendar events is a risk kickoff. All right, so security audits, and I won't spend a lot of time on this one. I'm just really going to encourage you to take a look at those, to start that process now with your clients. So if you're using our platform, so we've got a couple of templates available for you. We have the NIST 2.0 out there. So that one's got the compliance pillar in it. Great place to start. I know a lot of people like that one. I personally kind of like it because it does seem to fit a lot of situations. However, it is, I think, very lengthy. most of them are, all right? But the cool part about the way the NIST is structured is with its now 6 pillars. I feel you can move through those in a more methodical and block size methodology. So you can start, maybe you do it quarter by quarter. Kind of depends on, how you're working with your clients and the workloads that we can apply to that. But you could start with identify and work on that. I think there's still 4 or 5 control groups there within identify. So that's a very easily manageable and understandable section to start with. You can identify the gaps, work to mediate those, communicate with your clients, and then the second quarter you sit down and maybe you jump straight into protect. And again, you can move through this bit by bit without going over, I think, 117 different control statements or something like that in there. So it's a lot, but breaking this down is really easy. The other one we have out there is CIS 2.1, I believe. So that one, again, in the groups that we have in there, implementation groups. I can remember IG, but I couldn't remember what the I stood for. In the implementation groups, we got it broken down so you can do IG 1, 2, or 3. Really easy to digest as well. I don't think it is as step by step or module by module flexible like NIST is, but I do like a lot of the rich context that CIS provides. And so those, whether it's the NIST or CIS, those are verbatim from the sources. So there's no opinion. I didn't, put my Texas view on anything in there. And it's just as they are. And I think that's really good because it allows us to, easily fall within standards. But CIS provided more conversational context, I believe. And so there's a lot of supporting information, not only in the categories, the subcategories. Many of them had some really good information that pop up in the hover notes. So as you're just going through those, you get some great information there. And then the follow-up information being the project templates that are base for those. For every gap we identify, we're able to recommend a project to close that gap. I feel there's also a bit more context on that one as well. So you kind of go back and forth, each have their strong suit, what matches you best. The Australian Cyber Essentials 8 is still out there, although I'm feeling it's outdated. It's been a while since I've edited that one, and I've heard some feedback on updates. So that one might need a little bit of tweaking, but there is a basis there. And again, the Australian one following a path similar to CIS with its maturity groups. So those are out there and available for you. The reason why we're really kind of harping on this is in the fall, risk is going to be a big conversation. There's a variety of things that go into that and kind of fuel that conversation. Regardless of what those are, you need to be getting ready for those now. All right. So if we're going to have really good security conversations where we actually get something done in the fall, we need to be starting that process now. Otherwise, we're going to miss out on some momentum there. So start those security audits now. Some of those may be back office, kind of inside. Hey, we'll go through and do this, and maybe we're able to schedule. I personally feel that security conversations need to be kind of separate from your QBRs. Obviously, we can put updates in the QBR type meetings, but if we're going to have a security conversation, I think that needs to be a dedicated engagement with your clients. And we may need to be bringing in different people that aren't normally involved in those. So it's a good way to get the right people engaged, really focus on things and kind of walk through what the client's expectations are, what they need, and get that up and running. So as we get to the fall, you have a lot of this done. We're able to, again, leverage a lot of the other conversations. Sometimes it's funding from vendors. Anyway, there's just always a lot goes on there. And we can actually get some quotes signed. We can get work underway and actually accomplish something when we really kind of hit that peak security focus here in just a few months. So please start with the start with the security and risk assessments in your clients now. And then the last one I want to cover is just, it's July, it's mid-year, a lot going on, people vacations, wonky calendars, all that kind of stuff. It is a really good time to do some strategic reviews. All right. We talked about this earlier. We'll talk about it significantly in Q4 as we go to wrap things up. But I feel this idea of strategic conversations is a easily agreeable topic. All right. That's one we don't get any feedback or pushback on. People are saying, oh, I'm not going to have a strategic conversation with my client. Everybody wants to do that. They want to be more strategic. They want to be more valuable to their clients. But the implementation of that is not as binary as open ticket, work ticket, close ticket kind of steps that we go through in other elements. So I believe it leads to some hesitancies or some inconsistencies in your strategic engagements. And too many times I see MSPs say, yes, we tried doing that, but it just didn't work. We had trouble getting a meeting, and they give up for the year. They just stop. They had problems and they give up. Now, here is a great time to either restart that or revisit that process. So if you did have those strategic conversations earlier, now's a great time to come back, review with your clients, see how they are. Are they on track with their goals? We love to make business plans, right? And life loves to mess with our business plans. So things might not be going where the client was intending. Do you know that? Are you adjusting your aim along with your client? So great opportunity to update that. If not, it's an easy point to jump in because the clients are often going through these review processes as well. And it's really, even if they're not, it's really easy topic to kick off and say, hey, it's mid-year. I just want to check in with you and see how things are going so far this year. And again, that focuses around their business. You're gathering information about what they're really working on, what's important to them, what they're trying to get done before the end of this year, setting expectations about how you can support them going forward. So a really, really easy way to reignite that strategic initiative in your organization with your clients if you've been struggling to do that. In fact, it might be, maybe we need to think about this. This might be a little bit easier way to start the whole process in general, because you don't have to start with a strategic workshop kind of event. Maybe you can just come in these casually, which builds your experience or your, just use case of this sort of activity. And then here in a little while, we can kick them off with a little bit more formalized bit of process on that. But update with your clients or restart that strategic initiative. Now is a really, really good time to do it. Yes, there are going to be scheduling challenges to get that done, but you don't have to make it a big deal. If I'm going to do a really structured strategic engagement, I really want at least 90 minutes in those meetings. All right. The 1 hour meeting is always going to be too constrained. But if we're really doing that strategic workshop the way it should be, 90 minutes is a good time. We can get it done comfortably in that time frame. This one, shoot for 45, maybe 30 minutes. And so a lot easier to grab just a few minutes of your client's time. It also reminds them that you're focused on helping them. Your focus is not just to sell them stuff. Is every phone call with them, hey, this is broken, or hey, you need to buy this? That's not a good place to be. And this is a great place to reinforce, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm here to really help you focus on your goals, but I need to understand those goals and your challenges right now better so that I can support you better. So really easy there. Please, again, check out some of the new features in our update, the email digest or our dispatch. It's looking like that'll be a Monday release. So we're looking forward to that. Project syncing, more to be done in there. Need more feedback. Please start those risk assessments and check in with your clients. See how things are going. Business focused. Be very strategic with your clients. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week.